So one thing I will never understand is when these social media gurus tell people that they can create 30 pieces of content in 1 hour or 100 pieces of content in 10 minutes. Like, come on, let's be real. There is no way that anyone can actually create 30 high quality pieces of content in just 1 hour. There's just no way. And the worst part is that some people actually believe that. But here's the truth. You can actually create 15 high quality posts in just a few hours if you follow the exact process that I'm going to be breaking down for you in this video. The process that I'm going to be breaking down for you is the exact process that my agency uses to produce over 300 posts a month for our clients. And in this video, I'm going to be breaking down every single step of what we call our infinite content system so that you can knock out 30 high quality posts in just 2 days a month without sacrificing creativity, quality, or worst of all, burning out. So if you're just getting started in growing your personal brand and posting content, you have probably struggled to stay consistent, and it probably feels like creating content takes forever. So I promise this is the exact shortcut that you've been looking for. If you've been following me for any amount of time, you already know that I'm obsessed with systems and processes that speed up my workflow or automate everyday tasks. Because to me, systems equal freedom. And I strongly believe that if you want to build a personal brand, you cannot become a slave to creating content every single day just to keep your business running. It just doesn't work out, all right? So that is exactly why I built what I call this infinite content system in the first place. All right, so let's dive into the two main pillars of this system and how it all works. All right, the first and most important part of the system is content ideation. Now, if you're just starting out and you haven't started posting consistently, right? I mean, at least for like 100 days, then you've probably noticed that it feels impossible to really come up with great content ideas that actually attract your audience. And the reason is only because you haven't actually been posting consistently. So in reality, you don't really know what's going to work in terms of attracting the audience that you want. So the best approach to stay consistent and start creating top performing content that's actually going to work is to start by recreating top performing content from leading creators in your niche. I always recommend that you use their top performing post as inspiration and remix those to fit your unique voice and niche. This way, you're not just staring at a blank screen trying to come up with ideas out of thin air, and instead you're leveraging proven content styles and topics that actually work and have proven to work in your niche. And over time, once you've actually built that consistency, you'll have a much better understanding of what your audience loves, and then you'll be able to start adding in your own ideas and remixing ideas even better than before. But for now, while you're just getting started, I suggest just stick to remixing those top performing content ideas. It'll make your life 1,000 times easier, all right? But before you can even start looking for any content ideas, you need a place to actually keep and build out all of those ideas in one place. So if you're still using Google Docs or the Notes app on your phone, I got something way better for you. I want to give you a copy of the exact content planner that I use to keep all of my content ideas in one place and build out each idea quickly. If you want to learn how to use this content planner and go through the next steps of the entire process with me, then go ahead and download my content planner. The link is in the description below. And if you don't already have a Notion account, don't worry, it's 100% free. So go ahead and create that free Notion account, download the template, add it to your account, and then we can get started on the next steps. All right. Now, there is one other tool that you're going to need for this ideation process to work out, and that is a Google Chrome extension called Sort Feed. And what Sort Feed lets you do is it lets you reorganize your competitors' post on both Instagram and TikTok, and it lets you organize those posts by likes, comments, or views. Pretty much, this thing makes it really easy for you to find your competitors' top performing posts and be able to copy the link right away so you can start remixing them really fast. Now, once you've downloaded the content planner and you have Sort Feed downloaded on your Google Chrome, first thing we're going to do is we're going to open up one of your competitors' accounts on Instagram. So for this example, I'm going to use the Diary of a CEO podcast to kind of walk through this whole process. What we want to do is here at the top, you'll see Sort Feed. And you want to do two different sorts. The first is going to be by likes, and then we're going to sort by views. So just to show you how it works, I'm going to click likes, okay? And it's going to do its thing, and it's going to bring us back to the top. And so here you can see that it has organized all of these by the most liked post. And what I want to do is I want to look at like the top 9. That's kind of my go-to. Okay. I'll look at the top 9 to see likes and comments. So I see likes and comments, likes and comments. These are all pretty good. This one has a lot of the comments as well, right? So that one's probably pretty good. This one has a ton of comments. These are all pretty good ones. I'm going to go with like this one, because it has a lot of comments here, and this one. So I'm gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So let's just keep these in mind, what they look like. Right. This one doesn't look like it's a post that we can recreate, so probably won't do that one. Right. So I'll stick with these 3. Now, here's a little thing about sort feed. Every time you have sorted the page one time, you do have to refresh that page to kind of get a fresh look to set it back to normal. Second thing about sort feed is when you want to sort by views, you do have to be on the Reels page. So now that we're here on the Reels page, you're going to click in here and you're going to click views. Let it do its magic. And now it has organized by views. As you can see, some of the posts are the same. For example, this one is similar. This one is similar. This one is also the same, right? But this one now has come to the top. My goal here is to actually find at least 5 to 10 of the top performers based on likes and comments. If they're completely different, then I want to save all of them. If they're kind of the same, then I want to grab those, right? So I'm going to go ahead and grab these first 5. What I do is I will right click and click open in a new tab. That way my sort doesn't get messed up. So I'm just going to open these first 5. Okay. And this one. All right. So now that I got these top 5, I'm going to go ahead and copy the links and I'm going to go over to our content planner. Here in the content planner, let me break down how it works real quick. Once you have your content idea, what you're going to do is you're going to click here to new page. Then you're going to write down the idea. So this one, I'm just going to say daily habits. All right. So this one is daily habits. Okay. I'm going to open this thing up. And then here, I'm going to put the inspiration link, right? The post type. I'm going to say it's a talking head reel. And then here in the actual idea, once you've clicked open, what you'll notice is you have a few different sections. Let me talk you through the whole thing. You're going to have here status. This lets you show the status of this idea, where you're at with the idea. Then you have post type. Is this a talking head reel? Is this a B-roll reel, carousel, single photo, or quote? Then you have your inspiration link, which you can always add here. Your posting date, which is the date that you plan to make the post. And then you have your final content link. When you're finished editing your content, I highly suggest you upload that final link here. Then we have our content build out, right? So here, if you're going to have a written hook, a visual hook, or a voice hook, you can add those in. Your post caption, right? Whatever that caption is, you write it in there. You have your content script, which I'll go over in just a little bit. And then you have your scheduling checklist. Have you scheduled it on these different platforms, right? Which you can just click on and off. Very straightforward. And up at the top, you'll see these little buttons up here, and I'll be breaking down how you can use those to maximize your content later down the line. But let's continue with the ideation process. We've put in the content idea, we have a name, we have the inspiration link, it's ready to go. Now that we have this one idea in the planner, the next step is to go ahead and get another 4 or 5 ideas in here from the first creator that we're looking through, right? So like I said, we have our other ideas. So this was one of the ideas. Here's another one. I'm gonna go ahead and grab this one, throw it in here. What's the video about? Not all men have the right to be intimate. Okay, that's deep. All right. Not all men can be intimate. Then we have our inspiration, right? So we're gonna put that. And this is a talking head reel. We haven't started on anything. Cool. So that's good to go. So I'm going to go ahead and stop with these 2 for now, but you get the point. All right. So now that we have the content ideas put into the content planner, what I'll do is I'll pick 5 different creators and add their 5 top posts based on likes and views into the planner. That way we end up with about 25 verified ideas. I always like to add more ideas than I need. That way I can pick and choose and then kind of delete some later down the line if they don't fit. But the goal here is to just get as many ideas as you can into the planner so that you can kind of weed out the best ones when you start actually building out those ideas. And that's really it for the content ideation part. This simple process shouldn't take you any longer than about 20 or 30 minutes, right? It's really that simple. Use sort feed, grab the ideas, put them in the planner, and you're good to go. So now that you have all of your content ideas ready to go, we get into the next pillar of the infinite content system, which is the actual content creation part. Now, once you get this dialed in, you won't just create content, you'll literally be cranking it out like a machine. This step-by-step process really makes it easy, and over time, you'll just get faster and faster. So step one in that process is make sure that you prep everything that you need before you start filming anything. That includes prepping your outfits, prepping the locations that you're going to be shooting at, prepping all of your gear. Even if you're just shooting with your phone, make sure your phone is charged, make sure you have a little phone tripod, whatever it is, just make sure you got that. If you've been struggling to create high quality content and you're still not sure what gear you should be using, inside of my free community, I actually share a full content creation gear guide where I break down for every single budget what kind of gear you can use, even if you're just shooting with your phone. Then I also have gear suggestions for people who are using DSLRs or higher end cameras as well. If you want that list, go ahead and click in the description below. You're gonna see that I have a link to my free community. All you gotta do is search gear guide inside the community and it'll come right up. Step two is scripting and repurposing. This part is literally a cheat code that nobody out there talks about. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna grab one of your content ideas from the content planner and you're gonna give ChatGPT a basic understanding of what that post is about or what it talks about. And then you're gonna ask it to help you write a script for your post. But we all know ChatGPT tends to make stuff sound like ChatGPT. So in order for it not to sound like ChatGPT, I have a little hack that I want to teach you so that your scripts sound more like you versus AI. So let me give you an example of how to implement step two of the process. So here we are in ChatGPT, and I have a quick prompt that I've put together. And it says, I need help recreating a script for an Instagram reel. The reel that I'm using as inspiration talks about the daily habits that can contribute to cancer. Can you please help me create a short Instagram reel script that starts with a compelling headline, followed by a brief body section that talks about the headline in more detail, and ends with the CTA to follow me for more content like this? I'm gonna go ahead and give it to ChatGPT. Let's see what it comes up with. So as you can see, ChatGPT pulled together a script. If you wanted to make alterations, you can ask it to help you through those alterations. Like maybe you want to remove certain things or add certain things or say certain things. You can tell that so that it can help you build out the script in more detail. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and take this script as is, and then I'm going to go over to a Google Doc that I just opened up. All right, so here in Google Docs is where we're going to transition to make this script very unique to us and how you speak. I'm going to go ahead and paste that in here. All right, so you're going to give it a few spaces down. And then what you're going to do is you're going to come over here to Tools, and then you're going to go to Voice Typing. And as you can see, once we start with the voice typing feature, it will write anything that you say as you say it. So I'm gonna turn that off for a second, just so I can get this point across. Now, with voice typing, instead of reading the script verbatim, what you're gonna do is one line at a time, you're gonna rephrase that line in your own way, right? How you actually speak. So let's do this first line. Every day, these everyday habits might increase your risk of cancer, and most people have no idea. Let me do the voice typing. Most people have no idea that these 5 simple habits might be increasing their risk of cancer dramatically. Cool. So there we have our first hook, and it was obviously taken from what ChatGPT wrote and revised to sound like what I sound like. Then we're gonna go into the body. I'm gonna literally try to do this in real time with you guys. So let's see how this goes. Drinking from plastic bottles left in the car. Number one on those top 5 things is drinking from plastic bottles left in the car. You have no idea how much leaving a plastic bottle in your car and allowing the heat and the plastic to mix into your water or whatever drink it is that you have, how that can affect your health, right? I want to stop this and say I am no health expert. I'm just speaking from the top of the dome here, right? Obviously, if this was something within my niche, I'd be able to speak to it a lot better. But as you can see, now it's creating a script that is significantly different from what ChatGPT provided. The script is already coming together and it is sounding a lot more human than ChatGPT. And we're just going to keep doing that. All right. We're going to do that all the way through. I'm going to go ahead and finish this one just so we have an example. All right. So here I'm going to say number 2, is cooking with old scratched nonstick pans. People have no idea that when they're eating off of these old nonstick pans, it is dangerous for your health. Number three is burning synthetic candles every single day. Synthetic candles have chemicals in them that when you breathe them in, they affect your lungs. And little do people know that that causes cancer. Number four is not getting enough sleep. So many people love to stay out late or love to work really hard and through the night. But what they don't know is that for every hour of sleep that they lose, they can be cutting off years of their life. And it leads to cancer. And number five, which is the most dangerous of them all, is eating processed foods loaded with additives. People really don't know that eating processed foods is the number one cause of cancer. Each of these things, even though it may seem small, over time, added together, can quietly impact your health in major ways. So, if you want to find more ways to stay healthy and be in control of your wellness, one habit at a time, go ahead and follow me for more tips just like this. Cool. All right. So there we go. Took a little bit, right? Again, this is not my niche, but I just wanted to give you an example of how it would work. And I'm going to go ahead and copy this whole thing right here from the top. Copy. And then we're going to go back to this content planner. I'm going to go ahead and open up this idea and I'm going to put that script right in there. Okay. Just like that. So we have the script ready to go, but we're not done yet. Now you're going to take that script that you just created and we're going to go back to ChatGPT and you're going to use this exact prompt so that you can repurpose that script into two other posts. The first post that you're going to recreate with your script is a B-roll style reel that uses a simple B-roll clip of yourself and has an on-screen text that is a hook that gets people to want to read the rest of the information in the caption. And the second is a carousel post where ChatGPT is going to summarize your script into a 7 to 10 slide carousel. I've pasted that prompt in the description below so that you can quickly grab it and use it to repurpose your content ideas. So here it is. It's a pretty lengthy prompt and you're just going to click return, ready to go. Once we add that prompt to ChatGPT, it's going to ask you three questions. Number one, it's going to ask you for the script. Number two, it's going to ask you for the takeaway that you want from this whole post. And number three is the CTA or call to action that you want at the end of the post. So here you can see it's asking me for the script, main takeaway, CTA goal. What I already did here is I input the script. And number two, I put as the takeaway 5 hidden daily habits that could cause cancer. And number three, for my CTA, I put follow me for more info. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and click enter. And just like that, we now have 3 unique ideas from one single post. Now, if you do this for another 4 of your posts, you're going to end up with 15 different post ideas that are ready for you to create. This repurposing process shouldn't take you any more than 30 or 40 minutes to go through the whole thing, make sure that it's how you like it, and then add everything back into your content planner. Before we move forward, let me show you how you can quickly add these ideas into the content planner with those buttons that I was talking about earlier. So first I'm going to start with the carousel and I'm going to go here and start here, grab all this, click copy. Then I'm going to come back over here to the content planner. And in this idea, you're going to see that I have a button that says create carousel style. If you're not in the idea, you can always click here. Here's daily habits. And you'll see on the back end, we have the same buttons, right? So create carousel style. And on the bottom, you'll see daily habits carousel style just got created. We can open it and then we can go ahead and add in that script. All right. So it'll even make a little table for you exactly like ChatGPT gave it to us. And this is ready for you to create using Canva or any graphic tool just like that. Then we can do this same exact thing for the on-screen hook. So 5 harmless habits that raise cancer risk. Ooh, that's such a good hook. All right. So we'll come back over here. We can open up carousel style and then we're going to go ahead and create B-roll. Right. And so that's now down here. Oh, just moved it up here. Okay. So create carousel style B-roll. All right. So we're going to go in here, add in that hook. Right. So if you want to do the written hook up here, 5 harmless habits that can raise cancer risk. And then from here, as you can see, it's given us some B-roll ideas, a voiceover caption prompt, right? CTA. What you can do is you can just ask it to give you a caption for that B-roll idea. Can you give me a caption for the B-roll video idea that has all the information from the script in a shortened format. And it's going to go ahead and do that for you. All right. So here it gave me a really quick caption. I'm going to go ahead and add that into the content planner. All right. So here I'm going to go ahead and put that in post caption. And then I'm going to go ahead and separate it. Just make it look all good. Okay. Perfect. Here we are all set, ready to go. If you wanted to adjust this later, you can. All right. So just want to give you an example. Now, at this point, we have the daily habits idea, the original one, which is a talking head reel. We have the carousel style. And then we have the B-roll style. And then we also have the carousel style as well. So in the beginning, I know this is going to take you much longer because you're just getting used to this process. But I promise if you keep going, you're going to eventually be able to knock this out way faster. All right, so now that we have all the content ideas written out in our content planner, now you're actually ready to start shooting your content. In order to start shooting your content efficiently, you're going to start by shooting all of your B-roll content first. All right, this can be anything from you writing on a notepad, texting on your phone, typing on your computer, reading a book, anything like that. Anything of you doing something works as B-roll. It could be you pouring coffee into a cup, right? The really cool thing about B-roll style content is that over time, you can just repurpose and remix older B-roll clips with newer ideas in the future. Now, once you're done filming all of your B-roll content, the next thing you're going to want to film is your talking head style content that is just like this. Your direct to camera content is going to be kind of coaching and value based content. Since you have your scripts, these should be pretty straightforward and really quick to knock out. If you haven't filmed yourself making content in the beginning, I know it's going to take you more time. You're going to have to get used to setting up your camera, getting your lighting right, all of that good stuff. But as you start to do it more and more, it will be way faster. So to give you an example, when I first started creating my short form content, it would take me a few hours to write out the scripts. It would take me another few hours to film everything. Nowadays, I can actually script and film an idea within 20 to 30 minutes, right? And that's with the content being edited as well. Now, remember, we have 5 ideas that we're working from. So if you've filmed those 5 talking head videos, you filmed the B-roll that you're going to be using for the recreation of those ideas. Now it's time to move on to the next step, which is editing. For your editing process, you're only going to need 3 different apps. These are CapCut, where you're going to cut and color correct your content, the Captions app, where you're going to add those stylistic subtitles that everybody likes, and the last one is Canva, where you can find templates to easily create any of your carousel posts. Now, if you're not an editor, don't worry about it. These tools are super beginner friendly and very efficient because you can use all of them from your phone. If you don't know how to use any of these tools, I got your back, because inside of my free community, I have a full breakdown of how to use CapCut, how to use the Captions app, and how to use Canva to create content. All right, so again, link is in the description below. If you're not yet in my community, I promise you, you are missing out, because that is where I drop all the juice, the gems, the tools, the tutorials, everything you need to learn how to grow your personal brand. So hurry up, what you waiting for? Jump in. So once you're done editing all of your content, I suggest uploading it to an app like frame.io. If you're on a budget, you can use Google Drive. Either one, they're both similar, really doesn't matter. But the whole goal is to be able to upload the content somewhere and have a link that you can connect in your content planner. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and use my Frame account real quick so I can show you what it looks like. And I'm just gonna grab the link. If you have Google Drive, you're just gonna grab the share link and it's the same exact thing. All right, so I'm gonna just go ahead and grab this link, copy asset URL, we're good. Then we're gonna go back to the content planner. I'm gonna go back to my first idea. And then I'm gonna add in final content idea. There we go. I have it ready to go. And I'm gonna go ahead and make this go out on the 29th, right? Just giving you guys an example here. So now you can see we have everything we need for this idea. So you wanna make sure that you have all of your edited content ideas, links in the content planner, because it's gonna make the last step of this process 10 times faster. And now, we're ready for the final and most important step of this entire process, and that is scheduling your content to post automatically on all platforms. If you really want to build a scalable personal brand business, you should never be posting manually. That is a rookie move. The time that it takes to schedule your content one time will literally save you hours a day. There are tons of social media scheduling tools. If you're looking for one, I use a tool called the Scale CRM, which is a tool that I use to pretty much run the entire back end of my personal brand business, but it does have a very specific social media scheduling tool inside of it. And I literally use that to schedule on every single platform. And the super hack is that I even use it to schedule some stories too, right? So I literally use this thing so that I never have to be on my socials every single day. And to be really honest with you, the name of the game is consistency. So if you really want to grow across all platforms, you really just have to be consistent. And using content scheduling tools is the only way that you can guarantee that you can be consistent and not let life happen or stuff get in the way of you posting content every single day. So let me walk you through real quick what it looks like to schedule content on the Scale CRM platform. If you join my community, then you do get a special member discount to access the Scale CRM for the low. But let me walk you through the process. All right, so here we are in the Scale CRM. All right, so as you can see here in the top section right here, I have all of my accounts connected. If you have a new account that you want to add, you just click it here. And then I'm going to go here to new post, create new post. Here at the top where it says post to, I'm going to go ahead and post on this one-click Rick group, which automatically pulls up all of my main social accounts. And then here I can start writing out my caption. So I'm just going to put test caption for now, test caption here. If it's a reel, you're going to go ahead and click this little video icon and upload the actual content. Because I have a lot of content, I'm gonna go ahead and upload this right here just to give you an example of what this all looks like. So now you see I've uploaded that video. I have my test caption here. Once you've added in the video or the photos, whatever it is, you're gonna scroll down. Here, Instagram, I have it set for Reels. There are no collaborators, so I don't need to worry about that. Then here on TikTok, I have it set for everyone. Allow users to comment, duet, and stitch. Those are checked. And then on YouTube, you wanna make sure that it's a short. You can go ahead and put out whatever the title of that short is. And then you have public here because I do want it to be public. So here, this would be an example of me setting up a post. Now, if you want to change it for each platform, that's where I really love this tool because you can click here and you can change your caption based on the platform. So let's say on Instagram, you're going to be using ManyChat. You can say, comment PB, that's my go-to, to learn more. Right? That's good to go. And then we can also do anything that we need to do here as well. That's why I love this tool. It makes it really, really easy. Again, join the community, you guys, so you can jump on this thing and I can show you how to use this thing to run your personal brand business too. All right. So then once I'm done, all I got to do is click this little drop down and schedule post. Here I can schedule it for the 29th. That was the date I wanted to go out. Then I can pick the time that I wanted to go out, let's say 10 a.m., and then schedule post and it's good to go. I'm not going to go ahead and schedule this. I don't want to forget and accidentally goes out. All right. So that is good. And that is it. That is all you have to do to make sure that your posts are scheduled and ready to go on all platforms. So I know this process is going to take you some time to get used to, but if you follow the exact steps and how I broke it down, it will save you tons and tons of hours each and every week, because not only are you going to be able to create content faster, but you're also going to be able to schedule it and not have to worry about it getting posted on a daily basis. So instead of you being focused on creating content, posting content every single day, you get to focus on managing your business and having a lot more freedom to do other things. So at this point, I have literally given you the keys to all of my content planning and creation secrets. You have absolutely no excuse on why you can't stay consistent on your socials. So if you're serious about building a personal brand that actually grows your income, go ahead and click the link in my description and join the free community. I promise that there's so much free value in there that you're going to thank me later. In the community, I drop serious gems, tons of strategies, and keep you up to date with all the tools that I'm using, strategies that I'm using as I find them and start to implement them in my business. And if you got some value out of this video, go ahead and like this video and subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be dropping more gems just like this every single week. And if you haven't seen this video already, go ahead and check it out because I break down the exact system that I use for myself and my clients to help them make 20K per month or more on autopilot with their personal brands. See you in the next one. Peace.